Put it away right, it comes out simple.
Okay, so here we are, we're getting Cassie out. What are the steps?
Okay, take the shroud off.
The shroud.
The back is supported by blocks. The front is supported by blocks. You have to take all those blocks out. You have to be very careful when you bring it up front, not to break the antenna.
Oh, not to break the antenna.
You have to lift it over the antenna. Go around and over the antenna. Can you reach it or not? I can. If you have to shift it back, you need it. So take it back. Okay. So, see what we do here is we do not lift it up off the wheels or the springs. We just take the weight off the springs. Okay? See the axle there? See
That the big long vertical thing.
Yeah, cross axle there.
The cross axle.
Well, the axle.
The axle.
Yeah. Might need a block, I don't know. So you tighten this valve right here. See that little valve that I just tightened?
Yeah.
I should have shown you that.
Yeah.
You put this on the valve, and that's the hydraulic valve that locks it.
And you turn it to the right?
You turn it clockwise to the right. And that will...
How do you know when you're done?
It locks. It stops.
It stops until you can't turn it anymore.
Until you can't turn it anymore. Then you start pumping this up. You see it coming up?
Yeah. What am I trying to put it on?
That axle right there.
The same one the wood blocks are resting on?
Well, just...
It's not in the right position though.
We'll get it there, honey.
Okay.
It's coming up.
Oh, I see what you wanted to do. You're trying to get it on that part.
Yeah.
But that's like a curved section. Shouldn't you do it on the flat section?
You want to do it on the iron.
Right. But like right where you are is like a little curved piece.
That's okay. Now, you have to get the weight up
Here, let me do it.
off the block. Okay. Go for it.
Oh my God. Okay, I try. I try hard.
Okay.
Okay, I try.
A little more. No, you pick it up.
Pick it up.
Down. Okay, good. Good. See, you lifted it up off the block?
No. Oh, you just pull the wood away.
Just pull the wood away. Then you put the little handle on that valve again.
Same valve.
Same valve. And you turn it counterclockwise.
Okay.
There.
Okay. I make a picture. Okay. And now I turn it counterclockwise. And, oh, it's coming down right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little more. Why is that?
I don't think it turned very much.
Let me think.
All right.
If you screw this up, you'll never touch it.
So we do this to protect the springs, the shock absorbers, and the wheels. But the wheels aren't...
The tires.
The tires aren't dangling, though. They're not loose. They're still touching the ground.
Off of them.
So it's okay
now
that they
they're
touch the
supporting
concrete?
Huh?
It's okay?
Yeah. But the pressure of the car isn't on the tires anymore.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm surprised that you let them touch the concrete. You don't want them to dangle? All right, let me do the next part. Okay, so the blocks,
I keep these blocks every year for this purpose.
keep the same blocks, of course. Where would I get an enormous hunk of wood? You washed and waxed it before you put it away.
See how it crushes the wood?
Yeah.
This is cedar. It's soft, so it won't bend the metal.
Okay. Now we have to check the oil, right?
But first, We have to connect everything.
Oh, we connect things.
All that, check the oil, all that stuff. In theory, everything should be good to go.
Is that open? Do you need me to open the hood? Okay, your hand is...
I leave it ajar.
You leave it ajar.
for the winter.
So you put your hand there.
So you want to open it? You press that lever in, and pick up the hood.
In. Oh, okay. I feel it.
Press it in. Now you got to do the two at the same time. Okay.
Oh my God.
Lift
Here,
up
take
the
my
hood.
phone.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Nothing.
Holy cow, this is heavy. Okay. And this goes...
Oh, right there.
Okay. That goes in that one.
The rubber.
This is the lever that I just pushed. I pushed it back.
Yeah.
No, this lever. This is the lever I just pushed.
Yeah. This is the lever.
Okay.
You actually are pushing this.
Pushing that.
That unlocks that.
Okay.
That unlocks this edge.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
This
Do you
is
have to grease
all
that?
got to be oiled and greased. All this, and this.
What does this do?
That's the hood release that you unlock.
Oh, that's from the inside the car. Okay.
So
Here we are. Look at how shiny and clean everything
see
is.
how dry that is?
Dry.
I don't like that dry.
We
So-
don't like it dry.
So
As opposed to what?
well,
Greasy? I have grease on my fingers. I need a rag before I touch Cassie. Do you have a rag?
Yeah. Of course.
Okay.
If you work on this car, you're going to get grease on your hands.
I don't mind having grease on my hands. I just don't want to touch the beautiful red.
You're
You're gonna spray it?
Yeah. Good. Plenty.
What is it? Let me see what it is.
Corrosion X.
Oh, are you okay?
It's a non-corrosion.
Corrosion X, non-corrosion.
It's a non-corrosion.
And we just wiped the clean rag with all of the grease.
It wasn't clean. It was
Okay.
dirty. It was a greasy one. It's a shop rag.
All right, so we want that to be greasy.
Not greasy, just not dry. This is Corrosion X. You don't want that corroded ever, because that's electrical contacts. These two things are electrical contacts. So now you put this in there, and you tighten this on up tight to complete the battery connections. See that big arrow there? Put it right in there. Lock it up tight, and then you have to pull that off and see if there's enough water, and it's not.
Water?
It's acid, battery acid, but it's distilled water. So what you want to do is have it up to these slots. See the slots in there?
God, Daddy.
I've got to get a light.
God, you really just hit your head. I have a light right here.
Often the battery's low. It loses water. See those slots there on both sides of the battery?
Yeah.
The water should be up in among those slots.
Oh my.
Like halfway up the slots.
Oh, it is right there. It's just below the little.
Yeah, it's just below, but it needs water.
And it has to be distilled.
And it should be distilled water.
Okay. I have to do this to the battery on my sump pump, emergency sump pump.
See
in
that?
my
It's
basement.
below the bottom. See the
Yeah.
corrosion on the battery? There's a little corrosion on the battery. That's bad.
What's corrosion where?
See the white on the lead there?
No. Oh, wait, where? Where? Oh, like down inside.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's lead.
yeah.
The electricity is made by dissimilar metals with acid.
But it's underneath the water, the part
See,
that's white.
that's up pretty good. So the next thing we need to do...
All three of them have different levels?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought they were like all the same.
No, it's how much acid is in the battery, each compartment of the battery. So now we've got to fill that.
But we have to fill it with distilled water. man, that's a chip. Shh, don't tell.
Hasn't been a problem at all.
Try.
So, what'll happen is when the water gets up to the right level, see how it distorts?
Yeah?
See how
Yeah.
it's shaped like the slot?
Yeah?
You know you've got enough in there then. You don't want to fill them up to the top. Now, in the spring, most guys, a lot of guys, will charge their battery. Just put it on a battery charger.
I don't even know what that is.
It's
It's a little tool.
no, it's a little generator. It's right here. Got these battery chargers right here. You put it on the terminals.
That looks like one of your engines.
No, it's a battery charger.
Okay.
And you can charge them to a full charge with that. It's very important that you do this with a 6-volt charge. There's different ways to charge them. 12 volt, 1 volt, 6 volt. It's very important that you charge them with the 6-volt battery. If you charge them, you'll burn up the battery if you charge them with a 12-volt system. You don't want to do that.
I want to practice. So there's no threads, you just push it in there.
Push it in. I turn it as I push it in. Make sure the seat is good. This is battery acid. It'll burn your skin off.
Really?
If it's
I just touched it.
If it splashes out, it will burn your skin off.
I just touched it. Should
It's,
I go?
it's sulfuric acid is what it is.
Should I go wash my hands?
No, I think all the water on the top was just water.
Okay.
But down in there, that's sulfuric.
So why did
sulfuric
that
acid.
white stuff happen on the lead when it was underneath the water?
Because nobody's been using the car for like 9 months.
Will it go away as you use the car?
Yeah, it won't hurt a lot. It'll
How often do I have to replace this bad boy?
5 or 6 years.
5 or 6 years. And when did you last replace it?
2 years
Does it
ago.
say so?
2 years ago, yeah.
No, there's no year on that.
No. But, oh yeah, it is, right here.
Where?
April, let me get this later.
Application, batch
See
number.
those spots?
Oh, those things. How do you know it says April? Which one is chosen?
It's supposed to be punched out. They didn't punch it out.
They didn't punch it out.
See the months?
Yeah?
September, October, November.
So we didn't punch it, so we don't know.
No.
But you think it was 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You're going to be covered in... I have another question. There's spots on the chrome, and I rubbed them with the rag, and they didn't come off.
These are water spots. Don't worry about them.
So when we use the chrome polish, it'll be okay?
Even if you use water, it'll be okay.
All right.
So you can...
How easy does the chrome rust?
If you keep wax on it, not very easily at all. It'll last your lifetime.
Keep wax on it. And how often do you wax it? Just once like a mid-year and once in the fall?
I always wax it when I put it away for the year. And I usually wax it in the spring when I'm taking it to an auto show.
Like
So
the first show you do.
A couple times a year.
Okay.
You can see moving parts. This moves, this moves, this moves. Any moving part, you just put a little dab of oil on.
WD-40.
Or like this uses grease. This uses a light oil.
And by grease, you mean the old-fashioned grease
WD-40
can.
is a real light oil. You don't usually use that for oiling a car.
By grease, do you mean
see
the
this
old,
rust right here?
the old-fashioned grease can?
See this rust right here? That
The pointy
formed over
one?
winter?
I don't even know what grease looks like, Dad.
Okay, well I'll have to show you some other time.
That rusted?
Yeah, I got to spray that with a little corrosion X to get the see
That part.
it leaked gas down over that thing and it took
This
off.
big thing, I thought that was the filter.
That's the air filter, yeah.
So why did it leak gas? Gas is up
It's
there?
the carburetor underneath here.
Oh,
This is the carburetor.
so we have to spray
And then
that.
down underneath the carburetor is this cast iron fitting that takes the exhaust, the gas air mixture into the, it's called a manifold, and it takes it into the cylinders. And the gas dripped from this assembly down here, and it corroded a little bit. No big deal at all, but I like to keep it original, so I'll clean that up, and I'll put
Why,
some
like a little
Corrosion X.
wire brush?
Yeah, and I'll put some Corrosion X on it so it doesn't keep corroding.
Okay, show me where your wire brush and your grease is. Show me where this stuff is.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Oh, the wire brush is in that bucket.
The wire brush is in that bucket.
Yeah.
Those look too rough to use on the car, Dad.
Well, that's steel. There's several of them. This is brass. That's a very soft metal.
Soft.
That's the one I would use probably. This is the steel one, which you can use if it's real bad. And then the oil. All my lubricants are over here. WD-40 really is just a spray protectant. It's not a lubricant. So Corrosion X is what I would use to keep it from corroding. Engine Bright is a degreaser. Gibbs Size is a solvent that lets you break tight nuts loose. Silicone is something you use for mostly electrical work. The grease is in these grease guns here. You've used those with me.
Oh, that's the one that we used when we did the
Yeah.
little bolts.
Yeah. No, the grease Zerks. They're called Zerk.
This is leaking.
This is called Zerk fittings.
This is the one I thought you meant. This one here. Is this not grease? What is this?
That's oil.
That's oil.
Yeah, you can
Different
drip,
from grease.
You can drip oil.
This is the thick gooey stuff.
That's the thick gooey stuff. This is the thick oil, and then you keep getting lighter and lighter.
Now, last time we
oil.
used the grease gun on the little bolts underneath the car, you said to leave big globs of it on, but that's not what I would do up there underneath the hood. You would wipe it off again. You would
Yeah.
just put a glob and then you like kind of work it in and
wipe it off.
wipe it off.
You have to hold the nozzle on and drive it in, so that it goes into the grease fitting, not out over the Zerk. Those little buttons are
bolts.
called Zerks.
And we have to do those every spring? We have to do those again soon?
No. You have to do them once every 1,000 miles.
And we did them last spring, so we're not doing them again recently?
Well,
Okay.
I did them in the fall. I did every one of them.
You did them without me.
Yeah.
I gotta learn this.
They're good for the entire year right now, theoretically.
All right, well,
Okay.
if you end up taking it to West Virginia or something, then
I'm not going to drive this to West Virginia.
I don't know. You never know where a really cool car show is.
Yeah, it could drive almost anywhere, but I'm not planning on it. So, I don't know if this is fully charged or not. If the car doesn't start, if it goes like it's out of power,
Do you have a little like machine that will tell you if it's charged? That it says charged or not charged?
yeah, the charger will tell you that. So,
You don't check it? You just go for it?
I usually just see if it works, because once you start the engine, it's got a generator on it that will put power in the battery.
Is this a stick? What is this doing in here?
I don't know. Got,
Oh my God, is there a mouse? Is there a mouse?
there's no light on that.
Oh, I turned it off. Here, I got it coming back.
Oh my God, I gotta get my own light. What's wrong with that phone?
I think it turns off every time I turn the camera on. So this is not distilled water, though. This is going to be normal water?
No, that's antifreeze.
Antifreeze? Where do you keep the antifreeze?
In the garage here. Just like the rest of your
Just
car.
modern antifreeze, no special kind of antifreeze?
You gotta see that, oh, see, look at there. See how it's dry?
It's totally dry.
Okay, we need antifreeze.
We need antifreeze. How much?
Well, until it just covers the top of that radiator. You don't want to fill it up, you just want to cover the top of the radiator.
Don't fill it up.
I hope that didn't freeze and break.
It can crack if it's empty?
Oh yeah, well, if there's not enough antifreeze in it,
We don't have any today.
I have it.
I know Stuart has some. Is there different kinds of antifreeze? Like there's different kinds of oil?
But it doesn't really matter with this car too much. It's designed to work on water pretty much. But if you leave it over winter, you gotta have antifreeze in it because it'll freeze and break the radiator.
So why are you putting antifreeze in it now if it's summertime?
Because there's not enough coolant in there, honey.
Okay,
You just saw it was empty.
I'm just confused. So you can put water in it if you're out and about, but you should use antifreeze always. Is that what you're saying?
If you leave the radiator full over winter, you should use antifreeze.
Right.
If you drain the radiator empty, then it doesn't matter a bit.
Okay. But did you choose to drain it?
Uh-oh.
Oh no, I hear it dripping out. Did you leave it open maybe?
No, that's bad.
We have a hole in our radiator?
I think so.
Oh dear. But at least we know it didn't freeze then because it was empty. So how will we fix a radiator?
Well, that takes a radiator shop.
Oh boy, a radiator shop. Can a radiator shop work on a car like this, or would you take it to the...
Shh. That's holding it.
Take a look.
Water dripping right underneath there.
Yes,
Where?
right in the middle. Here, give me your flashlight.
I hear it, but I don't see it.
See, right there?
Yeah,
So,
but I might have just spilled that.
no, I don't think so. Although, if we put down a paper towel when we leave it overnight, then you'll know.
Yeah. See the green? That's why they make it green, so you can see it.
Okay.
They make all the lubricants different colors. So when you pull it out, if it's green, you know it's antifreeze. If
If it's
it's
brown, it's oil.
yeah, that kind of thing. I don't see
Orange is one
I
of
don't
them, right?
see
One of
anything
them's
coming
orange?
out of the car, honey.
No, it's not actively dripping right now.
Okay.
You think you maybe just... I thought I was watching you. I don't think you spilled it.
I didn't think I did either, but I might have.
Do you want me to go get...
That's why I keep plastic under the car. You can hear things hit it.
Right.
Okay.
So want me to leave one of these little rags down there?
Basically, though, here's the important thing you got to know about this car. You don't ever fill it up. It's not designed to fill up. The way it's designed is it's got two water pumps that goes, don't do that, honey. It goes, it pushes water up through the radiator and through these two hoses. And it's called an overflow system. So what it's supposed to do is come up, flow back through here, and then back around again. And if you fill it up full, it'll blow coolant out all over the place. You don't want to do that. Let's see what happens.
I have this fresh rag. I was going to lay it down underneath there.
Well, we'll clean the whole thing up.
Yeah. I
Okay.
use the greasy rag to clean it up, and then I'll lay this down, and we'll see tomorrow morning.
Now, before you run it,
No, wait. I have to finish this thought. So, if there is a problem with the radiator, do you take it to the fancy shop where that
you
helps?
take it to a radiator shop.
Any radiator
Or
shop.
a specialty shop that just does radiators, and they're able to check for leaks through this whole system, and they can solder them and repair the leaks. Especially with an old car like this, you have to basically restore what you've got.
Okay.
This is 60 years old now. So, well, 7.
Has this radiator been repaired? Because this looks kind of modern right here.
No, I think it's the
That's
old,
original?
radiator.
Okay.
Okay, now the next thing you do is you check the oil. Because it's been sitting all winter. You
Right.
got to know if you've got enough oil in the car.
Oh,
See how
man.
clean that is?
Yeah.
That's because I changed the oil before I put it away. If you do all this work before you put it away, it comes out in the spring real easy. If you don't, you've got a big job ahead of you. So, see it's right up to full.
Yeah.
See the levels right up to full, and the oil's nice and clear and clean, so
Okay.
it didn't leak any oil over the winter. Okay, that's good.
If it was leaking oil, what would I do?
Well,
If it was empty or low, I would know that it was
well,
leaking
you
because I
put
have the white.
more oil in it, then clean up the mess and see if it keeps leaking oil. A lot of times these are old fiber gaskets, and a lot of times they'll dry out, start to leak, and then once you get the car hot and you're running it, and it's the oil's churning and the detergents are working, it'll seal those gaskets again.
Okay.
And you won't have any trouble the rest of the year. If it keeps leaking oil, if you come back and you find you're a quart low or a half a quart low or a quarter of a quart low, and you have to keep adding oil to keep it to that level, then you got an oil leak. And I can fix them, but I don't think you can. So you'll probably have to take it to a shop. And
You would
say,
fix it because it was probably a gasket that's leaking, or it could actually be
yeah,
like.
it could be the oil pan, it could be all kinds of fittings, it could be a million different things. So
Okay.
I'd crawl under there and find out what's leaking and why.
Okay.
It could be leaking at the oil filter. There's loads of places it could be leaking. At the head gasket, hopefully not, because that would be very expensive. So anyway,
The head gasket's the engine, isn't it?
No, these are the iron caps on the engine. This is called a flathead V8, and those are two big iron caps on the engine, and there's a gasket between them and the block. And if they start to leak, that's a big job.
Okay.
A lot of money. You don't want to do that. So anyway, we're good to go. I don't hear any water running. I'm a little disappointed that I might have spilled it. Although, look at this, the back of this is dry. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I gotta keep an eye on that.
All right.
Okay, so we'll close this down because we've got the battery connected. And we have, where's the clip? There it is. The oil is good. And now, when you put it away, these are overhead valves. So when you're running the car, there's oil in the overhead valves above the valve assembly that goes into the engine.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
When you leave it all winter long, all that oil seeps down into the cylinders. So the first time you start it in the spring, there's a cloud of oil. There's a cloud of smoke. Don't worry about it. That's normal.
Okay.
Okay? You burn that off.
How long?
Well, once the car gets warm and hot and running, you know, you'll burn it all off.
You run like for 5 minutes, 10 minutes,
Well,
half an hour,
until the smoke goes away.
until the smoke goes away, and then I can turn it off.
Yeah. In theory, now the next thing we have to do is all 4 tires will be low on air pressure.
Yeah.
So when you back it out of the garage, get it out in someplace you can see, you got to get the valves down where you can get to them,
Mm-hmm.
the air valves,
Mhm.
and you have to pump them up to the recommended pressure on the tires. And that says what the pressure is right on the tire.
And of course, you have your own little air pumpy thing.
I do. They're behind you.
This green thing? That looks like a leaf blower.
It's-
Oh, this yellow thing?
It's
Oh God, it looks complicated. And over here, there is what? Aren't we going to check the battery? You're just going to start it. You wild man! Check the battery and see if it's good.
Well, if it'll start the car, it's okay.
Oh, Chihuahua.
And as you drive it, it'll get charged up.
Okay.
If it won't start the car, you open the hood and you charge the battery.
Yeah.
It either works or it doesn't.
How about you show me how to charge a battery anyway, and show me how to test the battery, because I will never just start this without testing it. Never. I will always test it
You
first.
really want to do that?
You wild man. Why? Is it hard to get all your little compartments
Not
out?
at all. Red. Red is positive. It also says positive right there. See?
Yeah. Watch your head.
What the hell? Thank God I checked it. They've reversed the polarity.
Red is not positive. Red is negative.
See this negative?
Yeah.
NEG.
Yeah.
Black is negative.
Black is negative.
And you just crank it on there. Red is positive.
Wait, can I do it?
And you crank it on the lead.
What do you mean crank it?
You clip it open and push it down on there, and then you grab those clips and press them in and wiggle them down here where they're gripping the lead.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you plug it in.
Okay. Now we plug it in because it is on 6, not 12. We have a V8 that has 6 volts instead of 12 volts.
Yeah, the old cars had a 6-volt system.
All right, plug it in. Up in the rafters. And now
this will tell you how good it is. See that meter right there?
oh,
It's a little bit into the red. It's bad when it's in the red. So you
so
want to get it down into the green.
how long would that take? 10 minutes? Half an hour?
Hours.
Hours. Right.
But we'll give it just
This
a
is
little-
why you didn't want to check it, because you knew you would have to wait. And you wanted to turn it on now. All right, I'm going to go
that
clean
would-
up the
That would be
antifreeze.
the case.
Okay, can we just go back
Somebody
to the
put
antifreeze?
hands
Yes,
on that.
I told
Do
you
not put
I
hands.
needed a rag. Listen, I don't understand when you can put water in the radiator and when you have to put antifreeze in the radiator.
When the radiator's dry, like you could see the metal,
Yeah? Always use antifreeze.
it just should be covered with water or antifreeze, liquid.
Why won't you?
It's about 50-50. It says right on the container. Here,
I am supposed to make a 50-50 mix?
50-50.
So this is already a mix of water and antifreeze. That's not pure antifreeze?
No, this is a concentrate.
Okay.
So it says diluted antifreeze coolant 50-50, which is half antifreeze, half water, which is fine for this old
So
car.
it is already mixed. So then you put it in, and if I'm out running around, if I take it to Silver Lake and it's low, I could use water.
Yeah.
And then when I get home,
All summer long you can use water. The antifreeze is to keep it from freezing.
so in the fall, I definitely drain
Yeah,
it and
two-
put only antifreeze in it.
Well, no, you don't have to drain it, but there's two choices. You can put antifreeze in it,
Yeah.
which is anti-corrosion.
Yeah.
See how these has corrosion protectors, approved extended life technology.
won't they all say that?
makes. Corrosion guard inhibitors.
Right.
They prevent corrosion in the radiator. The other option is to open the valve on the bottom of the radiator, drain everything out, and just leave it dry for the winter, and it can't freeze. Those are the two options. But then you have to keep buying new antifreeze and water every year.
Okay, but what if, okay, I've run it all summer, I've used water like 15 times during the summer to keep it topped off to the grid, and now fall comes around, and I feel like it's been mostly water because I keep putting water in it. So even though it might be full, it's water, not antifreeze.
And then drain it down. There are testers that tell you how much antifreeze you've got
Oh
in
my
it.
God.
You can take it to Advance Auto
Oh,
free.
Jesus. All right.
Oh, Jesus, what? Just
That's-
drive down to Advance Auto and
I
say,
do-
test my antifreeze.
Okay.
They'll test it and see whether
See, I'm glad I asked this question.
They'll test it and see whether there's enough antifreeze in it to protect the engine for the winter.
Okay.
When it goes 20 below, if this freezes, it'll break all these soldered fittings.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't want that. So you either drain it dry and add water and antifreeze in the spring, or you keep antifreeze in it.
Okay, what about these little dents?
Don't worry about it. That's fine.
Can you like take like a little ice pick and like pull them back down?
Don't mess with
Don't
this.
mess with them.
Just leave it. It's an old car. Just leave it the way it is.
All right. So that was in this white box, and not that one. That one was the trickle charger. That's not
Yeah,
us.
That's for little tiny batteries, like
All right.
these little batteries that I use to run my antique engines and stuff.
Okay. I'm gonna go down here and look for the lever for the. Oh, is it this big bolt? Is this the radiator drain thing? You don't have to come down here.
Remember?
There's a big bolt right here. Is that the radiator?
No. No. It's a spring, torsion spring.
A spring.
It's up under here. I'd have to find it. I've never drained it.
Oh, you've never drained it.
No, I don't.
Oh.
I never needed to drain it.
Okay, then I won't
I
worry
keep
about it.
nice clean water in it, and I keep nice Good, good.
But the radiator doesn't have to have distilled water, does it?
No, just the battery.
Just the battery. Okay, can I have a messy rag and I'll wipe the stuff away so that we can see if it's... No, this was the clean rag. I was going to lay down after we... Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm wiping off the antifreeze so we can tell if it's more dripped. And I'm wiping it up off the floor too, so...
I don't feel anything underneath these hoses.
Alright.
So you can feel the connection.
Okay.
Okay. I think it's...
There's a lot on the floor down here, Dad. Oh God, I hope that radiator's okay.
I do too.
And if I did blow it, if I filled it up too high and I blew antifreeze all over, am I blowing something up, like blowing gaskets out, or is it just making a mess because it doesn't stay inside the little pressure cap?
You blew out the fittings on the radiator. You have to take it to a radiator.
Oh God, okay. So that's a big mistake, not a little mistake. Okay, give me the real rag, please.
What for?
I was gonna lay it down underneath to see if it drips.
That's good. If mice get in here, they'll eat all the cushions up, honey.
I don't want to use mothballs. Okay, so he's got the ignition in. He's got the choke all the way out.
Come on, baby. Oh, I don't think it's good. Come on.
You're so impatient. You needed to wait till I Sounds good. Oh my God, what a mess. That's a lot of smoke. And you're flooring it down there. Or you're just tapping the gas?
Just revving.
Just tapping or like,
Just
okay.
giving it maybe a quarter of a...
Okay. All right. Cassie's awake for another year. Summer 2018, here we come.
Click, 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 click. Those
Yeah.
It's those are the belts going up and down. You want that to be quiet. You want that click, click, click sound. You'll never put your hand in there by that fan. It'll run your fingers right off.
There's an open fan in there?
Yeah.
That's
This is before they did that stuff.
Oh, that belt right there?
No, the fan's right there. That's the blades going around that will chew you to
Holy
pieces.
crap! That's an open fan blade right there. Oh my God, that's so dangerous.
Put your fingers, and that belt will tear your fingers right off if you get your fingers under. So you gotta kind of respect the car.
What else is dangerous?
Turn quieting down. Less clacking.
Yes, that's clacking. Is there a way to put oil in there if they don't stop clacking?
No, that's the whole oil system. It pumps the oil. This is the oil dipstick right here.
Right. So there's no way to get them
It
to stop
pumps the
clacking
oil up
except
through
for
the
one
head,
way.
through this filter, and then back down again. You can
Yeah.
actually feel the vibration on that.
Is that the thing that's going to get Bernie hot?
Here. That's
Yes.
what you want to hear. Now it's smoothing out.
Yeah.
Less clack, the oil's coming up over, working all through everything. It gets warm, it gets smoothed out.
Are there certain parts of the car that get
Very loud
really,
tapping on the left side, I can hear it.
really hot to touch? It's just a block.
Don't ever open this when the car's hot.
Right.
It'll
Look at
blow
that.
boiling water and steam right in your
I
face.
think that's like one or two things I knew about a car. Okay, so
This gets hot. These manifolds get hot.
when do you change the white
This
thing?
See this right here? That's the exhaust manifold down below there, the rusty iron pipe there.
Yeah.
That gets scorching hot. Blue hot.
Right.
Touch that.
That's bad. When did you change the spark plugs?
Every few years. I change them. You can see they're all brand new.
And you can clean them, right? You take them off and you clean them
Between times, yeah. But
in the fall?
whenever you feel like the thing isn't running as smooth as it should. Pull the plug, clean it. This is a distributor, there's points in there. You pull that cap and you clean the points. The condenser is what I replaced when I bought the car. The spoil is what I replaced when I bought the car. These two things were making the car not run. That's why you have a full run over here.
Did you buy modern ones or did you find old ones?
I got original equipment. They're absolute exactly as the original was. They're new, but they're new old stock. What they call it.
Reproduction.
Yeah, they're basically reproductions of the original.
I still hear ticking.
I didn't think you did that.
Yeah. It's much better.
Smooth it right up. Now you can feel the heat coming up. That's gonna get low.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's water coming out.
Okay, winter yuck. That's oil?
No.
It's just moisture.
It's carbon, and moisture builds up in the whole exhaust system over winter. That condensate, expansion and contraction and everything. You don't want to touch that.
They don't want to touch
That's
it.
carbon.
Right?
It's black.
But it's not oil.
Let's take it for a ride.
I don't. There's too much salt on the road. Also, he said he puts mothballs in it. I loathe the smell of mothballs. He has like a little tub of them in there. Push the choke in. I know what the choke is. It's already in.
No,
This?
the choke there. There ain't tapping? Oh yeah, that's good. Sounds great. That's what you want to hear. You got to listen to engines, You got to hear all the machinery, all the parts moving. That tells you whether things are working like they should or not.
So you left it run with the choke out a little bit
Yeah.
to make it run rich to get the oil moving.
Yeah.
And
Running higher speed.
but now that it smells like gas in here, you want to just
That's telling you it's running too rich.
too rich.
Too much gas. Oh, look at it running. Isn't it nice? Good girl. Patsy.
Good girl.
Put your car out the street.
What's that little burbling sound?
Probably water in the exhaust pipe.
Water in the like frost or something got in there? Hear that?
I do. I think it's water in the exhaust pipe. We'll blow it out when we drive it.
We'll blow it out.
Here, it's the transmission. If it drips up here, it's the oil reservoir. It's the oil well.
Reservoir transmission differential.
Yeah, this is, the if it drips over on these two corners, it's the brake fluid. So basically, I lay this down here so I can see exactly what's going on with any leakage. And there's been virtually...
Where'd you get this big long piece of plastic from?
I don't know, it was a tarp or something. It was
The dump?
I think a painter's tarp.
A painter's tarp.
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, basically you can see, and then I wipe it up every year, so if it... There's a mosquito.
Yes.
If I wipe it up every year so I can see the following year whether it starts to drip or not.
Okay.
Plastic.
So, this bad boy.
Yeah.
I get it. Does it need an extension cord? Yeah.
The outlet pressure, that's the inlet pressure. Tank pressure.
You have to set it to something?
What the tire pressure in the car is supposed to be.
And that's in a little book?
Usually on the tire. It's not, it's in the book.
It says 6.7-15. Max?
Maximum load 1450 pounds at 32 psi. So you want 32 pounds
Yeah.
psi in your tires.
Now that little machine is all the way back in there. Do you mean do you have to drive the car back in there to do the tires?
No, I just unplug it and carry it out here and
Oh, like you're charging it right now. Oh. Okay.
the problem is I've got to get these rear wheels so I don't have to take the skirts off with
You have
those
to roll it.
valves down.
That's all right. I'll work on it.
Just, you got to tell me when you're down.
Okay. So how long do we charge it? How long? Hey you. How long do we charge it? What you doing?
I'm setting the outlet pressure to about 32 pounds.
How do you know you're doing that?
I pull it out and it lets the air out. Now,
Oh, this is what you're setting it to here.
yeah. Down to about 32 pounds. I plug it in and that's how much pressure it'll put out.
That looks like it's set at 40 to me.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter because I use a pressure gauge too.
Oh. So you didn't charge that for very long.
Now it's got about 100 pounds of pressure in it. Oh,
What do you need?
I don't know where my pressure gauge went.
This one?
Oh, there's one there. We can use that if we
No, this is a wrench. Is this a pressure gauge?
have a dial pipe. It might be in the
I think I have one in my glove compartment.